Hello everyone, today is 8th of August, now it's 10 o'clock in the morning Moscow time. I'm Medvedev and this is my first update for the day in which I will share all the main news that are making headlines in Russian media outlets and Russian language pages on different internet platforms. And there is quite a few very significant developments and news that I'd like to share with you for this moment, although I will start with the YouTube, dear friends, because it seems like Russian authorities, Roskomnadzor or whatever the name is of that institution, that state institution, made decision to slow down access to YouTube so much so that this platform is not opening. For the last several weeks there was issues with YouTube constantly. Speed of access was slow every other day, and right now, as you can see, I cannot even open platform. Nothing to be said about watching the videos. And I mean, as you can see, I'm connected with the internet because I can open in a second TASS News Agency's page, or let's say Lenta.ru's page. But YouTube is struggling just now after, like, I don't know, almost a minute. I can see page and it's not even open fully, so it's inaccessible. It seems like I will definitely try to upload this video through VPN. I checked a few minutes ago, and through VPN YouTube is opening a little faster. And if you are watching this video on YouTube, by the way, if I manage to upload video, then please consider to subscribe to my Rumble channel. This is my Rumble channel. Name is same, Levan Gudadze Opinion. Yes, I will continue my work even if YouTube becomes totally inaccessible, even through VPN. I will continue my work on the platforms that I can access. And for now, even though Rumble formally is blocked kind of in Russia, I can have access through VPN, and I'm publishing videos on daily basis here. So yes, please consider to subscribe to my Rumble, just to stay in touch, by the way, if you really like my work and want to hear about news from Russia. And also, if you can, please subscribe to my Telegram channel. I'm Telegram and also Twitter X, by the way. On Telegram I'm quite active, on Twitter X not really, but I have in plans to become more active on Twitter X. Also, all the links are under this video in the description box and in the pinned comment. Yet again, if you are watching this video on YouTube, by the way, because I'm not sure I'll be able to upload video, I'm gonna try for sure. Okay, that's been said. Let's talk about some other news now. And first of all, report about Russian military correspondent Yevgeny Poddubny. Yesterday afternoon, news broke up that Yevgeny Poddubny was killed as a result of drone strike on a car in which he was moving in from place to place in the Kursk region. And later on, many channels reported about it, many big channels on Russian segment of internet, Telegram channels, for example. Although later on we receive additional information that even though car in which Yevgeny Poddubny was moving was targeted by Ukrainian FPV drone, Poddubny survived this clearly assassination attempt and was transferred to hospital. His condition is serious, although just a few minutes ago I see reports that he already made the first comments about all this situation. So I guess his life is not in danger right now. Of course, medics are doing their best to save his life. Let's hope he will recover as fast as possible, and will continue his great work. He is very respected, by the way, military correspondent in Russia. Also, we have RIA Novosti's report that in Kursk region, emergency situation was declared due to incursion of Ukrainian forces into this region, and security of Kursk nuclear power plant have been increased, understandably so, because as I said in my yesterday's second update during the live stream, there are some rumors that maybe one of the tasks of Kiev regime's invading forces in the Kursk region is to move towards Kursk nuclear power plant as close as possible, or maybe even attack Kursk nuclear power plant itself and establish control over this station. If we take a look at the map, well, even if Kiev regime forces have such task, it's not gonna be easy, because this is a forward position of Kiev regime forces according to latest reports, and from there to city of Kurchatov is quite a long distance, as you can see, by the way. It's at least 60 kilometers directly, but of course roads are not going straight, so if you are moving on a highways, probably it's gonna be like 70-80 kilometers at least from forward positions of Kiev regime troops in Kursk region to Kurchatov city, in which nuclear power plant is located. But anyways, it is understandable that Russian security forces increase protection of the Kursk nuclear power station. When it comes to situation in the Kursk region itself, well, yesterday Russian president had a meeting, and I spoke about it in live stream. Russian president had a meeting with the leaders of Russian security forces. On this meeting, Gerasimov, head of Russia's general staff, was presented through TV link. Also, Belousov, defense minister, Shoigu, secretary of the Security Council, and head of FSB, Bortnikov, his name, I believe. So, and during this meeting, Russian president received information from about situation in the Kursk region, and Gerasimov said that about 1,000 Kiev regime militants cross the border and enter these borderline areas of the Kursk region. And he also said that advances of these Kiev regime forces in the Kursk region was stopped. This was in the afternoon yesterday, and I guess for this moment this information is outdated, because after this meeting took place, number of channels reported that Kiev regime troops continue forward movement, and entered Suja settlement, which is right now divided between the sides. Western part is controlled by Kiev regime forces, eastern part by Russian forces. And when it comes to number that Gerasimov spoke about, 1,000 militants that entered the region, is also, I guess, outdated, because there are reports that at least one brigade is involved in this operation, although some channels are reporting that Kiev regime already sent in this direction two brigades, and also special forces of main intelligence directorate of the Ukraine's defense ministry are operating in this area also. So therefore probably Russian high-ranking officials or Russian security services will release updated information today about the situation on in the Kursk region. As you can see on this map, by the way, which is a approximate map, we should take all the information right now with a pinch of salt, because it's definitely hard to tell what the hell is going on there without without official confirmations or without some video and photo evidences. But based on what we know, it is plausible or probable that Kiev regime troops establish control over about dozen of settlements in borderline areas of the Kursk region. And as I said, right now battles are taking place for Suja. Some channels even are reporting that Suja is completely under control of Kiev regime forces. I don't know. I just simply don't know. I'm not there, so I cannot confirm or deny this information. That's why probably it is better to wait for some additional information. Gerasimov also shared yesterday information that up to like 360 up to 400 militants of the Kiev regime were neutralized by Russian forces for that exact moment. That was information of Gerasimov. At least 100 militants of Kiev regime were KIA'd, killed in action. Although I guess that information is also outdated for this moment, and casualty numbers on side of Kiev regime are much higher, I presume. Yet again, at this point, really difficult to know what the hell is going on. And if you ask me what is my take on this situation, in yesterday's update I shared my some of my thoughts, and I don't really have anything to add to that. Time will tell. Time will tell. Let's see what is going to happen. TASS news agency is also reporting that former Russian president and current deputy chairman of the Security Council, Dmitry Medvedev, made a comment on the situation in Kursk region and said that, well, after this provocation, it is obvious that Russian special military operation have to become ex-territorial and move towards Kharkiv, Odessa, Nikolaev, and even Kiev. Okay, you know my take on all this Ukrainian story. I believe after this conflict will end, Ukraine will be divided between Russia and NATO. Majority of territory will be controlled by Russia, although Western Ukraine most likely will be controlled by NATO forces, and eventually Poland, Hungary and Romania will claim those territories, because it used to be part of these countries, by the way, in different time periods of 20th century. So in this regard, I can understand Medvedev is coming from his statement. Let's see if we will see some changes, if there will be some changes in Russian strategy. But in any case, me personally, I expect at least from Kharkiv to Odessa, all that territory from north, east and south to be liberated from NATO occupying regime that been formed in Ukraine after 2014. But quite strong statement from Medvedev. Yet again, we get used to strong statements, and I guess actions will follow. I don't know. We'll see. TASS news agency is also reporting that Russian air defense systems intercepted at least 16 drones over the Kursk and Belgorod regions during the last night. Also, Vzгляд newspaper is reporting that Abkhazia Laudinov, major general of the Russian armed forces and head of Akhmat special forces, stated that Kiev regime is using in the Kursk operation troops that were withdrawn from Belarusian border. I guess this information is already known by many members of our community. Military summary, I believe, also reported about it, that Kyiv regime withdraw some forces from Belarusian border, and those troops are used now in this incursion into Kursk region. RIA Novosti is reporting about destruction of some additional military equipment of Kyiv regime in Kursk region. Let's see. Yes, I mean, Russian troops are actively engaged, of course, in combat with this invading force. And plenty of videos on internet, by the way, when this Kyiv regime forces being targeted, and well, another video of that. Number of vehicles of Kyiv regime is destroyed. Of course, by the way, I have no doubts. That give it time, and Russian troops will obviously neutralize all this invading force of Kyiv regime, and will reestablish control over the border. And most likely, Russian troops will move even further to create a buffer zone in the Sumy region, maybe even Chernigov region. But it is also understandable that many people become anxious or very nervous because of these developments on the line of contact. You might see in the comment sections on YouTube, Rumble, on Telegram, or Twitter X, some comments that are more like panic comments or stuff like that. I think this is a mistake. There is no need to panic. You should never panic, especially in critical situations. Emotions are running high, but mark my words, one way or another, but it's only a matter of a relatively short time, and Russian troops will neutralize this invasion force of Kyiv regime, reestablish control on the border, and yet again, most likely, buffer zone will be created on initial stages, but eventually, Russian troops will liberate in its entirety all the territories from Kharkov region to Odessa region, at least, by the way. Just mark my words. And as Medvedev said in his statement, maybe Kyiv and Kyiv region also. Although, whenever I was talking about fate of Ukraine, possible fate of Ukraine, I was always acknowledging that there is a slight chance that Kyiv and surrounding areas will maybe remain as a quasi-state, landlocked quasi-state on the political map, but I don't know. Time will tell. Medvedev quite clearly is saying that Russian troops should move to Kyiv also. TASS news agency is reporting that, according to, of course, Washington officials were asked about these developments in the Kursk region, and also questions are rising what Washington's take on usage of US-made military equipment by Ukrainian forces during this incursion into Russian Kursk region. And basically officials in Washington are avoiding much talk about this whole situation, although they are stating that Ukraine is acting according to their own views, as if Washington is not involved at all. And at some point, John Kirby, by the way, representative of White House, even said that White House will ask Ukraine to share information about their plans, what they are doing in the Kursk region. Yes, of course. These clowns, man, I really find it difficult to understand how anybody can take even a single word from Washington's officials seriously, man. These damn clowns, man. Clowns. including this John Kirby, by the way, the disgraceful individual, absolute garbage, and many all of them basically. Entire U.S. political class is complete garbage, man. Let's be real here. There are no decent human beings in U.S. political elites. None. Not even single one. Not even single one. But in my personal opinion, you may agree with me or disagree, but I believe decent human beings will stay out of this corrupt system that is created in U.S. And if someone is acting as if he or she is decent and has some principles and still are in this system, most likely that person is receiving funds from very same corporations, for very same donors than all the other politicians there. So it's all kind of dirty theater, by the way, all these political games in US. But anyways, US is not really keen, US administration not really keen to comment on all those developments. And I have a question to Russian media, really, because all the Russian media outlets are writing about this attitude of US, when they are saying, in one hand, they are saying that they will ask you for more information if they have no idea what is going on, and if they are not behind all this terrorist activity of Kiev regime. And in other hand, very same Washington is trying to avoid comments on usage of US weapons on Russian territory, as if and I wonder why Russian media is so keen to point out these topics, because what was their understanding? What Russian journalists from MSM were thinking that US is delivering all those weapons into a Kiev regime to do what? To be used as some sort of, I don't know, toys by Kiev regime, to be used as a scrap, or what? What was the expectation of the journalists that they are so surprised now that Washington is not commenting on striker infantry fighting vehicles or Bradleys or Humvees in the Kursk region? Of course, those weapons were delivered to Kiev regime to harm Russia as much as possible, in any ways possible. Right? This is a proxy war that US, collective West, basically under leadership of US, is waging against Russia. And they want to kill us all, for God's sake. They want literally to kill us all. That's it. And I don't understand what is wrong with those journalists in Russian MSM, that they are always surprised, you know, at what Washington will say about the strikers in the Kursk region. Why you fucking care, man? They want to kill you, for God's sake. That's the point. And you should think about this. Anyways, man. Russian MSM may be a little better than the Western one, just because these journalists are, I guess, more educated. I definitely believe in that Russian journalists in MSM are more educated than their colleagues in the Western propaganda outlets. But still, by the way, quite often they may make you mad, man, with their work. Anyways, let's continue. RT is reporting here that EU hails incursion into Russia as Ukraine's right to self-defense. Okay, I mean, what other comment you expect from your enemy? Really? So, European Union fully supports their actions of Ukrainian forces, including striking Russian territory. European Commission spokesman Peter Stano has stated, okay, maybe some journalists in Russian MSM are surprised, but I'm clearly not. I can understand that my enemies want to kill me, and my enemies want to do as much damage to me, to my society, to my country as they can, because they are enemies. And collective West is our enemy, man. It's not that difficult to understand. And I'm talking about political elites. I'm talking about their puppets. I'm not talking about ordinary people, even though we should be clear on this matter also. Vast majority of public, I believe, in the collective West really hates us. They hate us, right? And the members of our community from the Western states, from the collective West, can confirm this because they live in Western states, right? And they know that vast majority of public is under heavy influence of propaganda, this anti-Russian Russophobic propaganda, and they truly hate us. If you ask them why you hate Russians, they may struggle to give you adequate answer because they don't know. They were told on TV that Russians are evil and they hate us because they think we are evil, and I don't know. We are danger for not just for NATO or Western, how they love to say, EU values or Western values. We are danger not just to Western values, but also to probably entire galaxy, man. I don't know. When it comes to Western values, man, if Western values are what we see in opening ceremony of so-called Olympics, then you know what? I don't want any of it. And none of us here in Russia. Anyways, let's continue, man. Yet again, I want to be clear, when I'm talking about that collective West is our enemy, I'm talking about political class, obviously, and they're puppets, by the way, and they have puppets all over. TASS news agency is also reporting, although before I continue, probably it's worth to notice that this small media project of mine with few channels on YouTube, Rumble, and Telegram is completely subscriber funded. And if you like what you see there, friends, if you want to have access to the channels that are channels that are providing information from Russia, because after all, everybody is talking about Russia, and very few channels actually are in Russia and reporting from Russia. So if you like what you see, if you want to support, you can do it with donation through PayPal or Boosty. This is Boosty channel, or by subscribing to my Patreon page and the Boosty page. By the way, on Boosty you can send tip or donation. You can subscribe to my page. Quite interesting platform and useful on the older. Unfortunately, seems like our community don't really like this platform much, because I only have 7 paid subscribers from 34. Although, as I said, 7 are paid subscribers, rest is just free subscribers. And well, okay, that's been said. All the links, by the way, all the links are on this video description box and in the pinned comment. TASS news agency is also reporting that foreign ministers of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation have blamed Israel for assassination of their head of Palestinian Hamas political bureau chief. Head of Palestinian Hamas political bureau, Ismail Haniyeh, in Tehran. This was stated in a final statement adopted following an extraordinary meeting of their OIC, Council of Foreign Ministers. Important development, I believe. And yesterday, many members of our community probably watched update from Alexander Mercouris on his personal channel. And Alexander Mercouris is, of course, host of Duran Show. And he said that his expectation was that before final resolution of this meeting of Organization of Islamic Cooperation, probably Iran will not conduct any retaliatory strike against Israel due to killing of Ismail Haniyeh, to make sure that Islamic world is in support of Iran, and this is very logical and very logical and understandable point, absolutely. And now Iran has this support, and we might see some retaliatory actions being taken by Tehran. Who knows? I mean, quite time passed since the assassination of Haniyeh. We are seeing quite a lot of statements, but no action being taken. And who knows? Maybe there will be no action at all. I don't know. Because, as I said from very beginning, most likely friendly nations to Iran, Russia, China, India, many others will probably try their best in terms of diplomacy to ask Iran basically not to retaliate in extreme forms, not to give basically Western ruling class additional chances to provoke regional war in the Middle East. And who knows, maybe Tehran listen to its friends. Maybe. Although I can hear arguments from other side also that are saying that restraint of Iran may not really be effective because previous retaliatory strike that Iran conducted because of this Israeli attack on Iran's consulate in Damascus did not really influence Israel's behavior in any ways, which is true, by the way. Iran's that previous retaliatory strike was quite restrained. After all, according to some reports, Iran released, through backdoor means of communication, shared information with US about direction of Iranian strike for 2 or 3 days earlier before, so that Israeli forces, US forces, were ready to intercept all those drones and missiles. But point was made by Iran that it has means to strike Israel directly. But still, Netanyahu's government did not really care much, it seems, because they assassinate Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran. While he was there because of the inauguration of the new president of Iran. So maybe this restraint from Iran will not really influence behavior of Netanyahu's government. I just don't know. We should wait and see. Also, by the way, breaking news kind of, although information is from yesterday, late afternoon, late evening even, that FBR raided the home of Scott Ritter, US military expert, former UN weapons MOD inspection, former UN inspector basically in Iraq, and the voice of reason from US. Scott Ritter himself commented on the situation, and I shared the video on my channel with his comments. You can listen to him. He's saying that basically this is U.S. government is basically declaring war against him. I guess that's exactly the true because, well, U.S. is a police state, isn't it, already? And it is clear that certain ideas, free speech is not welcome, by the way. In US, it is just too clear. Western ruling class loves to, or Western politicians, including US politicians, love to speak about this freedom of speech and liberty and all that stuff. But in reality, they hate independent thinkers. They just hate independent thinkers, and what they do in regards to Scott Ritter is one additional confirmation of that. It is what it is, man. RIA Novosti is also reporting that Moscow is calling Tbilisi, Sukhumi, and Tkhinvali to work on agreement about non-using of force against each other to de-escalate, to further de-escalate situation and the relationships between each other. Okay, I shared this information on my this statement on my Telegram also, that Russia is ready to provide assistance in developing a dialogue between Tbilisi, Sukhumi, and Tskhinvali. And by the way, Tbilisi is the capital of Georgia, Sukhumi is the capital of Abkhazia, and Tskhinvali is capital of South Ossetia. And after collapse of Soviet Union, unfortunately, Georgia undergo number of crises and unfortunately number of civil wars. That's what it was. Because citizens of one republic was fighting each other. And as a result of these very unfortunate developments, Abkhazia and South Ossetia declared their independence. And in 2008, by the way, after yet another escalation between Tbilisi and Sukhumi, Tbilisi and Tskhinvali, when Saakashvili's regime started reignite basically this civil war, and then provoked Russia to get involved, because Saakashvili's regime targeted Russian peacekeepers in the region. After that, shortly after that, Russian Federation recognized independence of South Ossetia and Abkhazia, and of course relationships between Tbilisi, Sukhumi, and Tskhinvali are quite tense and are difficult at this point. Although, well, Russia is ready to provide assistance in developing dialogue between their sides. And this information was made today because in 2008, by the way, by Moscow time, it was 8th of August when Saakashvili's regime reignited this conflict in South Ossetia. Although by Georgian time, it was still 7th of August. 12:30, I believe, about that, in a late evening. And yes, relationships between the sides are difficult. Although, if you ask me, my take is that political leadership of Georgia, South Ossetia, and Abkhazia should work on the topic of confederation. I believe this topic has a future, this idea has a future to reunite in a new state, under umbrella of new state, confederative state, with moratorium, let's say, for leaving the confederation for 15 plus 10 years, plus 10 if all the sides are okay with with staying in the confederation. And after sides will live in peace and prosperity for 25 years potentially, 15 plus 10, then I think after 25 years none of them will want to leave this confederation. And creation of the confederation will also resolve some very difficult issues in the relationship between Tbilisi and Moscow, because Russia will just recognize this new confederation, and that's it. And Tbilisi no longer will have a reason to, be mad on Russia. At least so much reasons, because nowadays, by the way, everybody is angry on everybody, isn't it? So yes, Russia will not recall recognition of the South Ossetia or Abkhazia, but recognize new state, new confederation. And that will resolve definitely some issues between Moscow and Tbilisi. And this new confederation will have a great opportunity to cooperate with Russia to take on this road of peaceful development, and it will work. I believe this will work. But right now, first steps need to be made, and Russia is ready to provide whatever assistance can be provided. She also noted that Moscow is in favor of parties to begin developing an agreement on the non-use of force between Tbilisi, Sukhumi, and Tskhinvali. The launch of the process of delimitation of the Georgian, South Ossetian, and Georgian Abkhaz state borders will contribute to the stabilization of their border areas. Yet again, I believe confederation is a way to go forward. And if political elites and this topic is not going to be easy, by the way, to sell to public. So hard work needs to be done to work with the citizens to explain why this is a good idea. But it will work. I believe it will work if Tbilisi, Sukhumi, and Tkhinvali will reunite under the umbrella of Confederation. RT is reporting that Western luxury brands are returning to Russian market, according to media. Okay. Stores of German fashion brand Hugo Boss will reopen in Russia this month or in September after their acquisition by retailer Stockman. RIA Novosti has reported, citing the union of shopping centers for new brands. Other Western brands are extending their trademarks in the country, hoping to get back to trading. Well, I don't really care about luxury brands. I only know a few of them, and I don't know majority of them. I was never their client. But in one hand, it is good. It is good that these world famous brands want to come back to Russian market. But in other hand, if it was up to me, I will say no. I will say to them, you know what, fuck off. Russia is doing okay without these brands and will continue to do okay. And I will never ever allow these companies to come back on Russian market. I will never allow any company from collective West that flee Russia to come back to Russian market, because yet again we are okay. We don't need these companies, man. But Moscow clearly has some different approach. Probably there will be some demands from these companies. They will be asked to invest certain volumes into production or something in Russia, and then they will probably receive opportunity to work on Russian market again. But they cannot be trusted, and therefore, in my personal opinion, those companies should never ever be allowed on Russian market. They made the choice, and let them live with this, man. Yet again, I mean, who cares about Dior, Mior, Hugo Boss? Who the hell are these? I mean, what the hell, man? As I said, fuck him all, man. All those, sorry for my French, but all those companies that left Russia should never be allowed back, man. These dirty bastards, man. They made the choice, they betrayed Russian customers, right? And why should they be forgiven? They should never be allowed to come back. But anyways, man. Anyways, this is the least problem of Russia. This damn brands that left our market. Anyways, this is it for now. A relatively long update, but hopefully you will find it interesting, informative, and useful. And if so, please click that like button and leave some commentary just about anything. Any topic will do. This is the only way. I'm always saying that this is I guess only way that we can try at least to deal with the algorithm, more likes and comments. And I know, dear friends, many comments are deleted by algorithm, and I cannot do nothing about that. Every day I have questions. Are you deleting my comments? Are you deleting my... I'm not, by the way. If comment is written in a proper manner, if no one is insulting nobody, there is no way I'm gonna delete comment. You can be critical of me, you can be critical of anything and anybody. As long as comment is written in a proper manner, I have no issue with that, because we cannot have a similar opinion on everything. It's absolutely normal, by the way. So therefore, please know, if your comment was written with proper language, there is no way I will delete it. But if it's gone, then sorry, but this is algorithm, man. Quite often algorithm deletes my Simple comments. There were so many instances when I want to just write greetings, by the way, greetings, simple greetings. It's deleted. So it is what it is, man. I don't know why this algorithm is this bad, but it is what it is. And what else, man? If you like my work, if you like my channels, as I already said, you can support with donation or by subscribing to my Patreon page or Boosty page. All the links are on this video in the description box and in the pinned comment. Yet again, dear friends, if I manage to upload this video on YouTube, please consider to join our community on Rumble also. Just to stay on safe side there, because if I would not be able to upload videos on YouTube, at least I will, at least we will be in touch on other platforms, on YouTube, on Rumble, on Telegram, and also on Twitter, by the way. Subscribe to my Twitter. I will become more active there. I will try. So okay, this is it for now. Have a great day and take care. Bye for now.